So what's up, guys? John Francis here, Fuel Fitness Co. On this channel, we're breaking down training, breaking down different gear, different supplements, and honestly looking at the evidence and just testing what actually works. I'm excited for this one. In this video today, I'm going to do a review on Transparent Labs bulk pre-workout. This might be one of the few pre-workouts that I think actually could be built for a hybrid athlete that can be used in multiple applications and be quite effective. The ingredients, the dosing, everything is just on point. While I prefer to create my own supplement stacks, I have another video that's all about my different supplement stacks that I put together for different purposes, for different stimuluses, for different training sessions. I don't use this all the time, maybe once a week, but I absolutely love this supplement. I know it's super fun going to the store. You're going to go do a great bodybuilding full body workout, a chest, tricep, shoulder day, and you stop off at the nutrition store, grab a brand new pre-workout, and go ahead and try it out. Like that's an awesome feeling. But once I found bulk, I have not found another pre-workout that is formulated quite like bulk, to be honest with you. So we're going to start by breaking down some of its application and how I've used it and how it's worked for me. And then we'll transition into ingredients and then finally into taste. One thing that I do love about this pre-workout is that it has passed the hybrid test for me. I very much train hybrid. I do all different types of training all the time. So I have used this pre-workout in all those different modalities. I've used this pre-workout for a strength workout, CrossFit workout, endurance, long high rock session, for a run, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and it has passed all the tests. While it's not necessarily perfect for each one of those, it has passed the test in that versatility of being a hybrid pre-work. So let's get right into it and let's go ahead and look at the ingredient label and let's go ahead and break down some of those ingredients. The first thing I want to look at is citrulline malate. This is a top tier citrulline. This is a top tier nitric oxide booster. I love L-citrulline, citrulline malate even more. So Transparent Labs didn't skimp out here. They did pick a top tier nitric oxide booster. Some nitric oxide boosters will have arginine in it, and arginine is fine, but there's some reasons why arginine is not quite as effective as citrulline. So big props to Transparent Labs for using citrulline malate in this formula. It also at 8 grams, that is a potent dose of L-citrulline. Now, what does citrulline do? Essentially, to keep it super simple, citrulline is going to open up your blood vessels. It's going to allow more oxygen transport through your blood. It's going to allow more blood flow to those muscles as you're working and trying to get a pump. So citrulline is one of the key critical supplements in helping to really get a good pump in the gym. So for bodybuilding workouts, to me, citrulline is critical. So for bodybuilding, for lifting, this is going to mean better pumps. For those long endurance sessions, this is going to mean better oxygen transport and therefore better endurance. You're going to potentially be able to last longer. With the caveat that citrulline or nitric oxide boosters are not my favorite supplement if you are going to really be pushing past your lactate threshold, because I find that they do enhance the pump. And in, let's say, a CrossFit workout where you're exposed to some kind of movement that could potentially give you a pump, let's say, for example, the workout contains some kind of amount of calories on the echo bike, and you're going to be forced to push that echo bike power output to a place where your legs are going to be really occluding blood, and you're going to get that major quad pump. In those type of scenarios, I'd rather not have the citrulline. Okay. And so that's why I make my own supplement stacks, essentially, or one of the reasons anyways. But other than that, citrulline is great. I even use citrulline on my recovery days to help. I feel like it helps recover faster. Again, opening up those blood vessels, allowing for more oxygen delivery, more nutrient delivery. Let's move on next to beta-alanine. Now, beta-alanine for me is a staple endurance supplement. I take beta-alanine all the time. And for anybody that is looking to improve endurance in any way, I'm talking about endurance from a 1 minute time domain or higher, beta alanine is going to be essential. It's a fantastic supplement to move the needle when it comes to especially like 1 to 4 minute time domains. So when you're doing interval training or long, big bodybuilding sets, CrossFit interval training, speed training, things like that, beta alanine is going to really help to buffer that fatigue buildup in your muscles. Now, beta alanine, it is not necessary to have beta alanine in a pre-workout supplement. Beta alanine is like creatine in the way that it builds up in your system over time. So it's really not necessary to be in a pre-workout. Just like creatine. Creatine is not necessary to be in a pre-workout. In fact, I would rather leave the creatine and the beta alanine out of the pre-workout, me personally, and take them at a different time. Because to me, that's just less stuff that's going to be like on my stomach pre-workout, right? So I take my beta alanine in the morning. Usually I'll mix it in with my water and my creatine, and I'll just do that for the first half of the day and get in all my beta alanine and creatine there. But beta alanine is fantastic. It does give you them tingles. So if you're somebody that enjoys that tingle, maybe that helps stimulate you and get you pumped. It makes you feel like the pre-workout's working better. Then there is a good dose of beta alanine in this bulk pre-workout supplement. So you may enjoy that. But still great. If you take this pre-workout every day, then you're going to get your dose of beta alanine there. The next ingredient to look at is betaine anhydrous. Now, I do incorporate betaine anhydrous into some of my workout stacks. Typically my bodybuilding workout stack or my strength workout stack. Betaine anhydrous is just a great supplement that is really going to complement caffeine, and it's going to really complement some of the other ingredients that we're going to look at later in the pre-workout, because it helps really increase power output. So betaine anhydrous is going to really help you to put more weight on the bar or get a couple more reps. So it really complements creatine. It's going to complement the caffeine. It's going to complement L-tyrosine. It's going to complement Alpha GPC. Yeah, I mean, I incorporate it more in my strength and my bodybuilding workouts. Not as much. I don't take it before a high rocks training or a run training or even a jiu-jitsu session. Now, it could be beneficial in jiu-jitsu, don't get me wrong. But again, it could also be beneficial in all those sessions. So there again, it passes that hybrid test with this ingredient and in a solid dose of it as well. Now, the next two ingredients that I want to go into are some of my favorites, especially for strength training, is L-tyrosine and Alpha GPC. L-tyrosine and Alpha GPC can really help dial in that mental focus, really get you primed and ready to get on edge and to generate the electricity, to generate the force that you need to when you're doing a strength workout, or if you're doing a power workout. You know, you're doing moves like a power snatch, or maybe you're doing 10-second bike sprints, or you're doing explosive bench press or explosive plyometric work like depth jumps or squat jump or contrast training or things like that. Man, Alpha GPC and L-tyrosine are great. Also, I love them outside of this pre-workout supplement because when you take, I will actually take those sometimes if I'm doing an evening workout and I don't want the caffeine. The caffeine is going to be too much. I don't take caffeine typically after noon, but those can be great supplements to help give me that mental edge, but without the caffeine lingering in my system late into the night. But of course, in this pre-workout supplement, they are going to complement the creatine really well. And that's where this supplement just really shines in combining these ingredients to help, especially with strength and bodybuilding style workouts. The next ingredient is taurine. Taurine is a fantastic ingredient. I incorporate taurine into my own custom stacks that I put together, especially in my endurance sessions, my CrossFit sessions, and jiu-jitsu sessions. Taurine is going to help put water back into the muscle, and taurine is going to help with your endurance. It's going to help you get more reps. It's going to help you get more sets. And it seems to help me with my focus as well. It helps to seem to curve some of the anxiety or jitters that come with caffeine as well. Which leads to my next two ingredients, Caffiene and L-Theanine. What a pair. What a pair. Caffeine is a performance enhancing drug. That's exactly what it is. Caffeine works. There's a couple reasons why it's banned in sport at high dosages. For one, it's dangerous, but for two, caffeine works. Caffeine will absolutely amp you up and get your nervous system in a state that is ready to lift. I love that they pair that with L-theanine, because L-theanine not only helps you focus and get dialed in, but it's also going to help calm you down and ease that stress. So I find it to really help keep that caffeine from pushing me too far. For example, you take a bunch of pre-workout, you get super hyped, and then you waste all your energy on like your first two sets. I feel like theanine helps calm me down just enough to really bridge that intensity and to bridge that focus into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different exercises. It helps keep me from getting too jittery, too amped too soon, and it really smooths me out. And so awesome pairing there to bring in that L-theanine. Another ingredient that they have listed is theobromine, and theobromine is going to be a vasodilator. It's going to complement it's going to kind of complement your caffeine. It's going to kind of complement the ginseng that's in there. It's going to kind of complement the citrulline, and it's going to work in similar ways. To me, a little bit weaker, and so it's not something that's super necessary. I don't take this myself. I don't take the ginseng myself, but it is a nice pairing and can help kind of sync well with some of the other ingredients that are listed. Honorable mention, I do like that there is a little bit of B vitamins in there. There's some sodium, a little bit of salt. I love that, because a lot of people don't think about that if you're going into especially like a bodybuilding session. I mean, sure, people hydrate for their endurance sessions, people hydrate for the running sessions. But man, if you're going in and you're doing a bodybuilding session, one of the most important things to getting a massive pump is to go in and make sure you're hydrated and make sure your muscles are hydrated. So that can include salt, it can sodium, electrolytes, carbohydrates, making sure your carb stores are topped off. You can tell a clear difference when you've had a lot of carbohydrates, maybe the night before, and maybe in the meal before your big pump session, versus if you're on a very low carb diet. On them lower carb diets, I just don't get as much of a pump, but the muscle's just not quite as hydrated. So it makes sense. But all in all, as far as the ingredients go, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. The only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because, to me, you can't really have a 10 out of 10 blend. Because there's different types of workouts, right? So your pre-workout has to be formulated. And that's why I put out a video on my pre-workout formulas that I use and I stack for myself based on whatever different training stimulus that I'm looking for, whatever different training session that I'm going to have. As far as the taste goes of bulk, I've got to be honest here. My wife does not take bulk because of the taste. To me, the taste is not bad. To me, it's not bad at all. It's just simply not as good as some of the other pre-workouts out there. To me, Bucked Up tastes better. The Ghost pre-workouts are phenomenal tasting to me. There's better tasting pre-workouts out there. But for me, taste is not that important. It's not that important. I dry scoop this. Now keep in mind, I do half doses. That'd be a pretty big scoop to dry scoop. I do half doses. And I just dry scoop it and chase it with water. Now, I know that's bad for my esophagus, probably bad for my teeth because of the acidity, but I try to rinse my mouth out with water real good when I do it, brush my teeth after. But I do dry scoop it. I don't mix it up. But it's not bad. I get the blue raspberry flavor. I like the blue raspberry flavor. It's fine. But I just will say that, like, my wife, who cares a little bit more about taste, does not take it. But to me, the ingredients, the formula is put together so well that it's hard for me to even look for another pre-workout on the market. In fact, since I've been taking bulk, I have not looked for another pre-workout on the market. So it is fantastic pre-workout. I know that I've taken other pre-workouts and going to the gym and you start doing a heavy squat session and then suddenly you just feel like you're about to puke everywhere. You get super jittery, you get super jacked, you crash mid-workout, things like that. But this supplement, man, it seems to be pure. It seems to be clean. The ingredients are good. It's formulated well. Overall, overall, even though the taste is not fantastic, I overall give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 pre-workout. But for more information on putting together your own stack, make sure to check out my other video if you're interested in that. I'm gonna have a link there for it. I'm also gonna drop a link in the description for Transparent Labs bulk pre-workout. I'm not associated with Transparent Labs in any way, but I do have an Amazon Associates account. So if you click the link below and you buy the pre-workout from there, it will give me a small little kickback from that. And if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. I would love to hear about your favorite pre-workout, and let me know why. Why is it your favorite pre-workout? What kind of training do you do? Do you just do bodybuilding? Do you do strength? What other kind of, what do you make your own custom stack? I would love to hear about that. Your thoughts on bulk, whatever, any questions, comments, anything, would love to hear about it. Please drop them below. And as always, thank you so much for your time and tuning in, and hope to see you in the next one.